Rise that we've seen beautiful highlight reels throughout these VCTs on this map. But at least for Rise, they've also changed something, going and putting Shanks back into a jet instead of a chamber. So I am expecting something very quick from both of these teams with this double duelist setup, just as they mentioned on the desk.
Absolute mirror comp. Like, who's better right now? Final map. Let's go. I love it. I absolutely love it. Sentinels looking for a little revenge map-wise over the loss they found to Optic. And overall, Vans, I feel like that map was a lot of utility misuse. And that's in any given day. If things aren't feeling it and you're just a little bit off with each other's utility, the whole game can look off, right? It just looks like somebody hasn't, like, woke up and opened their eyes this morning to play. But that, I feel like we're not going to see that again. We should get Sen playing a little stronger there. And Rise playing back for this start here. We see Shanks taking a bit of damage to start, and they have a good default still. Sen love to do this. They send 10s first. I've always wondered. It's such a risk that he goes down alone, but they allow him to just make these plays, and Long is going to be a play as well.
Good trades coming out, though. We do have Sick moving outside the window. Shanks is around the corner. Sick already saw him. He's going to come out for the right click. That's going to be an easy kill in an open B site. Great little fake happening towards the Sentinel side on the A side. Also a flank coming in from TENS all the way through the defender spawn. So that's two players moving out for Rise into the site. Another flank coming out for Derek, though, but he's going to have to move up a little bit faster. There you go. Gets that kill onto Dapper, but we do have paint shells ready to hold that back. Last person spotted, at least on the defense, is poised at that corner, and there's that flank from TENS. They're both spotted. It's going to be a bloodbath from both ends, and it's still the upper hand for the defenders. The spike has been planted, but it's still going to be Rise to get the defuse.
Poise staying alive in the site for so long. Derek's timing it long. Beautifully done there. Sentinels, they kind of wanted out and recalling where each other were, but you don't want to take the 1v1, right? You kind of want to, you hope that everybody can pinch themselves in and somehow that you win your fight. Rise really stalling it out there nicely to be able to get Derek up to help Poise after Poise found his frag here. And Zoms with nice patience at long got the information for the start of the round. Rise was just able to capitalize on what was happening inside. Oh my.
Yeah, sometimes those shock darts that were coming in, I mean, the recon dart came out too. All the information was already there. That unfortunately, that flank that came out from TENS was just a little bit off timing, where Poise was able to get inside that tin can of that B site. But at least now we've seen it before, and we talked about it before. Situations where Sentinels are on a lower buy. It's not still going to be an easy round for any of these teams to win. And here could be a potential bait, though, just around the corner. A dash just to get the crosshair off, and that's going to be the trade to come out. And the advantage comes still for Rise. Fighting towards this B side. The lurk doesn't work out. Zoms loses that fight, and now Shanks is inside Showers. And they're about to go for this double swing. It works out for a bit.
Nice trade, Dapper.
And here's Dapper, yes, with the Sheriff, but so low on HP. Two players now working together for Rise, and they're closing the gap. The lineup potentially could happen, but it's not going to happen. Superman gets that kill, and Rise gets 2 rounds now on the board on a map, again, that going into this series, we talked about how it looked good for our Sentinels, and then Rise were a little bit like up and down, right, in their record so far. I mean, they did get the win against Optic, but they also suffered some big losses against teams like Evil Geniuses and Knights, where, like we mentioned on a third map when it's Bind and these guys are warmed up for Sentinels, it's not going to be an easy task for Rise to win here.
No, it won't. I feel like Rise kind of bring like a base strength to the table. And while they ban out Icebox in certain maps, like I said, they bring that to each map, and then they can surprise and wow you from there, you know, as opposed to like Sentinels where you know you're going to get this rock that'll rotate together, they'll retake, they'll play. So I feel like Rise's potential can take you by surprise a lot of the times in that situation where you're expecting them to do something, and then boom, they're on the site. Shanks is in your face. He's got so many kills. He's already on Bladestorm again, and this is otherwise you're dying to 10s. Really great creep up. Rise is giving up a lot of space right now to Sentinels, and why not? 10s will take that. They're going to dash onto site, Vans, and 10s Sentinels are ready.
Ooh, they're definitely ready, though, for Poise. He lines up, too, with the Spectre, gets a dink on the Dapper, at least, though the kill comes out. But Neptune runs out for the trade. Derek inside elbow, as we're actually dwindling down the numbers on the defense, at least. But it's still going to be Shazam stuck on a 1-versus-1. Pain shells, right click, it doesn't work out, and then the left click comes up for Neptune for that 1-versus-1. And it's going to be Rise that wins on their bonus.
down to 1, so Sentinels do a good job at costing them a lot of money, but Rise win on their bonus. You can't take that away from them. We see the replay here. Another one. I can't count them on one hand how many collats or just instant double kills we've seen from Rise. Haven had a couple in the map itself, maybe 3. There's a 4th one for you. It has been wild. Sentinels has gotten a few of their own. And maybe we'll see Zoms. No, Marshall. I was going to say maybe he gets a Marshall one for himself. But they are going to buy in here. The Shiko round. Full Shiko with the half armor, I should say. And they know some are long. So the default here to absorb Rise's utility. Sentinels now pushes up the shower. They're going to gain control. This position, while protecting Shazam, does allow them to explode onto site if they want to later. So I feel like Pens is going to hold this for a little bit.
Orb was definitely important. Also forces out a poison orb to come out from the defender side of Rise. As everybody's regrouping so far for the Sentinels, waiting for this toxic screen to come out, and they're slowly creeping here. But the Sova's on the other side of the map for Rise, so this is an opportune moment for Sentinels to creep up inside U-Haul and potentially go for a little bit of a trade. But you see how passively it's being played by Rise. One on the APC, the drop's going to come down, the Boombot's going to get information. And here's that utility coming out. A combination of a Snakebite and paint shells, but Neptune manages to come out, at least with a little bit of damage done. Nice first blood, at least for Tens. 4 versus 4, forcing out the Viper's Pit, and a plant attempt works out. Nice satchel charge at least as well onto Neptune. We now have a 1-player advantage for Sentinels. As we mentioned again, off on lore buys, never count them out of this fight. But we are clearing out for showers at least for Rise. It'll be clear for now. 2 players playing inside the Viper's Pit, and 2 players playing the Pulse Plant towards short A. Good positioning here for Sentinels so far. And there's that first kill from Derek. And that's the Viper's Pit down. And somehow with that Viper's Pit down, it opens up everybody else discovered and killed. And Rise now have 4 on the board.
I always think that it's like you get caught with your pants down. The gas just drops there, and you're like, oh, snap. Like, I didn't know that was going to happen. Yeah, that was quick. They had really good positioning too. Sentinels getting in, switching up that strat a little bit as well. We saw that versus Optic, and that Viper's Pit went down a little to the left towards U-Haul so they could control U-Haul. This time we see Sentinels focusing site. The eco round was there, so they're trying to get the plant down. They get a little money for themselves. Rise will come up with it. And an operator in Shanks' hands, too. He gets to that ASAP. Let's see if Tens brings one online. They have 3 ultimates on deck on the side of Sentinels, but quite a few ultimates online for the side of Rise.
Utility's already there, though, to try to fight back, but the Recon Dart gets shot out, at least the Aljo. So that's 2 utility forced out. Shanks is now forced to dash away. But the Shower's control is going to be in favor of Sentinels. So you talked about that here, Riv, where you wanted the operator to come out right away from Rise, but at least you already had a setup play for Sentinels to push that away from an early kill, where Rise was doing a really good job with Shanks, at least for a couple of rounds on defense on Fracture. But now they gain a little bit of map control here for Sentinels to take over the A side for a bit. But yeah, there's an indication that it could be a fake here because the spike's still down towards Spice.
And it's moving slow, too. I feel like this is a TP at this point. All right. Yeah, he starts walking back. Like, as much as we saw Shazam walking towards Hookah, I was like, you're not going to leave a Sova alone to clear something. So, yeah, brings it back. You'll probably get the drone to come forward here. No, they're just going straight in, Vance.
And it's the attacker's Hunter's Fury, and that's Dapper with the first blood, and Sick has already taken position in the back of the site, but the Showstopper doesn't connect. So that's going to be a retaliation back then with the Showstopper of their, with the Hunter's Fury of their own for Rise, as now the Cosmic Divide right after the plant is coming down, and that's one of those walls that we saw Optic use against Sentinels on a retake, and they're looking to press back. Neptune's on a big fight in the back of the A side, as Sentinels are picking up the pace. They're winning their duels, but it's all up to 2 players. Make that one for Rise, and it works out for Zoms and Shazam with the crossfire set up, and Sentinels finally put the first point on the board.
It starts to get scary at round 5 if you lose that one, because you're about to topple over a few more rounds to your opponent. So yeah, Sentinels, stop the bleeding. That's going to be great for them. We see the Blade Storm online now, and we did see a few of the ultimates coming into play for Sen there. Their attack has been aggressive right after about 30 seconds into the round. They get a creep up. They use this wall. We see their particular wall still placed towards that short A side for teleporter. And again, they work this shower area to just kind of get an idea of orb, and get an idea of what's going on. Do they provide this orb for Shaz again? Because Bladestorm's ready for 10. So yeah, there's another grab. They are prioritizing quite a bit on the side of Sentinels for that orb to get back in this game.
So aggressive now for Rise. Just around the corner, though, is
they've pushed up.
He has to stand his ground. If not, that's all of the smoke's gone. And there you go. At least connects onto that one. And here comes a second ping. Poise is just fighting around the corner. He's about to get pinched from behind, and that's another beautiful kill from TENS. So the number is dwindling down here for Rise, where they had some sort of a mixed buy going into this round and trying to create some pressure, but it doesn't work out. Sick is pushing forward. Another one spotted inside Hookah, and Sick is trying to hunt him down. We stayed alive here for Superman. We're looking to play close corridors, close corners with the right-click classic. That's some beautiful paint shells. That's going to do a bit of damage here, down to halfway, and there you go. The last little grenade there on the ground finally kills him. And a beautiful wall bang from Sick. But, again, no big weaponry coming out here for Rise. And now we have the Prime Gaming Flawless against the Eco.
Yeah, it kind of shows you as well the strength of what a default does, right? If an opponent pushes into your default, you have this web of teammates to just turn left and right, start dropping them, collapse with each other, and then you can choose what to do, right? It works a little easier on the Eco because you have a gun diff. But yeah, defaults also allow you to be very accessible to helping out your teammates right away on that back line. So they clean up another one. Sentinels do a good job at thwarting that push from Rise. And it looks like Rise is all down B. Here we go.
Speaking of pushes, here it comes. Recon Dart down, but it's Zoms with the first blood, trying to stand his ground, but it's not going to work for too long. The wall has been broken, at least on the hold on the attack, and Sick is trying to repress forward. He hears the footsteps falling back into the A site. Dapper is trying to move up with him as well, but all split up across here for Sentinels. They might have to try to work some sort of like a fake here towards the A site. It works.
Love it. TENS on his own mission again. As a 1v1 trade happens across the map. They'll back off for now. I say, yeah, they all today. Let's not. It almost perfectly fits the bomb site too. So,
and that's the thing though, because of that Viper's Pit, you already saw the rotation coming out from Neptune, and that allowed a little bit of map control there for Sentinels, but they didn't expect Derek to be just under the window side. So the trait comes out for the information, and now you're forcing two players to play back towards spawn side. A retake setup for Rise as Sentinels are still looking to work towards this B site. Updraft on Shed. Snake bite towards the elbow side. 30 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be, at least for now, an easy plant for Sentinels. A full plant to come down. Spike down at the default spot. Recon Dart towards the back of the site as they hear the boom bot towards elbow. Now Poise spotted by Dapper. Nice shot. Showstopper misses as TENS gets a nice kill to stop that right away. And on the top of that, Shed goes for that second one onto Superman. And that's Sentinels looking to narrow down that gap and tying up this game. And they're picking up the pace quite quickly in this first half.
They are. It feels like they're on pace now to keep this going. TENS is coming in with the communication that he needs to make these things happen. Boom, nice dodge, goes straight up to know he can fight long since the team is guarding the rest of the angles and elbow is still locked down. Just overall, once TENS can kind of get in an aggressive flow, you feel like you're hitting those shots. You almost you want to turn around and find another one and frag out and keep going. He's being spicy here.
You talked about they wanted to get an open frag, and that was Shanks trying to lurk forward there with this eco that you have for Rise. And Aldron spots another one, so you know that Neptune and Shanks are close towards the A site. Beautiful peek by TENS. Easy kill onto Shanks, and Neptune, meanwhile, also got sprayed down to half health. And look at the elevation being used by TENS, but Neptune gets 2 kills with the Sheriff. Shazam at least finally stops the bleeding with that shot through the nebula. And that's going to be now a 3 versus 3. Weapons are down on the ground, but they cannot be picked up by Rise, so things are still looking pretty decent for Sentinels to get this spike plant down. Rise, here's a teleportation, and here comes the setup towards B.
Oh, great gravity. Great stall, Vance. Can that be enough, though? These Sheriffs!
My God, how is that happening? Derek finally gets stopped, but it's a 1 versus 1. Spike now down. He heard the teleportation from Poise, so he knows that he's there, and he's got plenty of time to work with. Still has plenty of time to even take TP to go towards A side, and by cutting noise, you're bringing that hesitation out for Poise, who's looking back towards Sands. Zombies can now just go through spawn side and run towards the A site if he wants to, or plant in the back of the B site. With 20 seconds left, he opts for the latter. Poise still inside Hookah, looking to move out only with a frenzy. And there you go. He's now spotted. Oh my god, he's
No
down to 7
way.
HP and gets wall banged.
You what? You.
With a frenzy.
I'm buying a frenzy all day now.
Oh my god.
Yep. See that sheriff back there? Frenzy. Holy moly, poised through the wall. Oh. Yeah, 10's getting up there. Neptune as well, sending the excitement of the game to Neptune with those 2 shots. Here, a cleanup from Zoms.
My god, dude.
Rise will always start to do damage while the spike is being planted or just after it's planted, right? There's never usually this post-plant, okay, set up, retake. There always seems to be something happening, and Rise can take advantage of that really well, it seems, because we talked about their ability to be tethered to each other, the trades that come in, you know, as people are trying to escape into a post-plant position. Rise is already on your back. So that's where they kind of grab an advantage when Sentinels isn't perfectly ready, and we see 10s dodging showstoppers from elbow and popping up on that tin to grab shots and spawn. So each team is really being able to have their highlight moments for the rounds, which is making it so close. It's just who can pop off each one, and we're trying to identify that each time. I'm loving this.
So you've identified the Opera once again. Shanks looking for an aggressive angle towards a short Cosmic Divide on the attack.
Here we go.
And here comes Sentinels with the execution, looking for this plant inside the A site. Satchel charge on the ground. Viper's Pit already out, and we're taking control of Showers too, so it's going to be a 5-player retake from spawn side.
As I say, this doesn't happen, it happens. Everybody resets and we go for the retake. I'm eating crow here on round 8. Ooh. Oh, 10's up on the box, loves to play these mind games, knows somebody's up, but where is it? This is such a guessing game, Vincili.
Oh my god. It's working out, though, for the Sentinels at least. Oh. We're fighting through the Viper's Pit as it's still up, and Dapper is trying to hold it. Shock darts onto the ground to make it a 1-player advantage for Sentinels. The Owl Drone's being heard, and Dapper's dancing around through it, so a perfect timing. Shazam's watching that flank. Superman's walking back in, and Derek actually does get the kill, and the Viper's Pit is now down, but it's a great crossfire setup in the end from Showers Control and Short A as Sentinels fight back and get the round in their favor.
Oh my word. I even like there's a few things that took me off guard there because Rise was the one really being able to set the pace, like I said, during the plant and after the plant. Their Sentinels said, all right, you want the rodeo? We'll bring the rodeo. Viper's Pit in A site, and they literally, people were on top, under boxes, running around the triple stack or L box. And honestly, great positioning, and the sonar bolt we saw go off was a big boon for that side of Sentinels to let them know where Rise was on defense. So overall, nice utility usage by Sen. We're 1 away from a tie game here. These maps continue to just creep around that tied score.
Yeah, Aljo, I don't know if it spotted the second player that was still holding towards you where Shanks is fooling with the frenzy. We're going around instead through the triple and taking towards the APC, so Shanks is going to be under heavy attack. He still manages to get the kill there onto Dapper, but finally 10's is right behind for the trade. Rotation will not happen. The flankers are not going to happen either as Shazam hears the rotation through Cave, but as he peeks back out towards Short A, gets popped here by Poise. Now on the attack on the pulse plant, or 3 players of Sentinels looking back towards Short A, and Poise wins his first duel. Satchel charge coming out right now, forcing Poise towards the behind, but they're working together. Now 6 on his own. It's a 1 versus 1. He just gets the second one right there for the Red Bull clutch. And that was a beautiful thing from Sick, where we wanted to see that pop off on Bind, and we know that he could do it.
Once again, take away the nades, take away the blast packs, just let this man shoot. That's what he's good at. Oh my word, nice transfer. Also, the Vandal, or wow, the Phantom rather, making that much easier for the transfer play. Just Sick, feeling calm, cool, collected. What a nice job there.
And that was a round that was actually even a lower buy there for Rise, right? We saw the frenzy at the beginning. He had a little bit of a rifle coming in on a rotate for Rise. And making it pricey for a bit against Sentinels. Sentinels still healthy for another buy here again, because we talked about the amount of rounds that they've won in a row.
Yeah.
It's not yet broken in the economy, and you can see how it's broken right now for Rise. So a good opportunity for Sentinels to pull this through and take the lead if they win this one here on the first half. It's slow. We make a little bit of a presence towards Hookah, but we haven't committed towards anything yet towards B. The lurk from Dapper has to come up now.
A little bit of a shower push from Shanks is info. Great ground by Dapper, as you were saying, but what, info can he give? Now he can start toying with him. He can start hearing quite a bit now if he hears somebody run away. As soon as B gets hit, then they say, all right, stall B, come back. There's the running from Raze. He can call one.
And it connects there from 6, so Poise falls, and the Hunter's Fury's out as well. We have committed towards this B side, and that flank is coming out towards spawn side, and everybody's dropped towards Rise, though. So now a 5-on-2 with the spike plant coming in, and Dapper is indeed coming on that flank. As we're trying to save our weapons here for Rise, we get caught with our pants down, as we mentioned before, and Dapper sweeps in for the 2 kills. Once again on the flank, just like he did on Fracture, and it's 6-5 for Sentinels.
What a deadly round from Sentinels. That's Vans. That's one of the first rounds we've really seen. Like, we've seen a few rounds where somebody's coming around spawn, but the round had somewhat already ended. This is one of the first ones we've seen a team dissect each other here. It's been head-on battles before this. And Sentinels is like, all right, we're throwing you for a loop. And this is such a good job by Dapper to creep the site on A like that. He heard Neptune run away, the teleport come in, and it was golden after that.
Yeah, full execution with 2 ultimates there really made it difficult for Rise to hold their defense on the B site. And we talked about a broken economy for Rise where potentially Sentinels could hold this out by 2. Such a low buy right now, but a Hunter's Fury connects and also kills Zombs. So all the smokes are down towards this B site, and we're still committing. Satchel charges in, but up into midair. It's still going to be 10s flying through. So that's Neptune to fall down, and we still are trying to take over this A site. Nice shock darts to push out the defenders back towards the spawn side, and we do have a plant for B main. It's at default. A flank's coming in from Superman, though, on the defense as the Cosmic Divide comes out. 10s follows behind an Owl Drone towards elbow side, and he's trying to gain control in the back there. It works out for a kill. Through the smoke, we're going through the battle. And Dapper goes in for the kill with the Sheriff, leaving now Superman on his own, and it doesn't work out. Shazam gets the kill, and that's a clean pushed in from Sentinels to make it 7-5, and we'll see if they can close the half in the series after this. We're back into the last half of this series where, if you've only tuned in now, you must know how important this matchup is for both of these teams, which is why I'm loving that we're seeing a third map, that we're going into the second half of this third map with such a close scoreline with Sentinels in the lead by 2.
This series has delivered on every front so far. We've seen Shanks carrying. We saw Shanks come out Mr. Fourth Quarter in the first. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold that thought. This is going to be a play that's thwarted 3, detected right away, Vans, and it gets hot and heavy real fast. Zombs goes down, but that's a lot of damage onto Rise.
Yeah, that was 4 players trying to work that for Rise on the defense, understanding this default. Oh, sorry, for the defense here. Understanding the default for the attack for Rise. The Sentinels 10s is pushing forward with the Sheriff, and he's been good with this before, and he does so. He manages to go out for a bit before he gets traded out, but Sick is right in for that other trade. Now Pain Shells are pushing him back. He gets the Boom Bomb back on the other side, too. As now Derek is going to work here, taking control of the short side. Sick is forced to give that up and just to hold Showers as much as he can, and as he peeks out, Derek misses the shot. The spike plan is going down, though, as we still have Dapper and Sick trying to close in. And now it's just up to Dapper, trying to flank back from behind. There's a little bit of a confusion of these colors right now as Dapper's on the defense.
Yeah.
And that clock is ticking down right here. The pressure is on for Dapper. 2 players already rotated out on the short side, so making that window of opportunity to capitalize on a couple of kills on his attempt of a clutch does not pay off, but he does get the kill onto Superman first. Breaks that recon dart, taps again. Here comes another peek. He has to win this fight right here, but it's going to be Derek with the wall bang, and Rise wins the pistol.
Much needed. We talked about how big this game is as well. 2 more games, or 1 more after this for these teams to be played in stage 1. Both Sentinels 2-1, Rise 1-2, and Rise, if you're looking at these teams to be tied, is down in the round situation. So they need as many as possible. The first 2 maps is +1 for Sentinels, since Rise won the first map by 4, and Sentinels won the second map by 5. So it's definitely a struggle here. Even if Rise wins, they need to do things pretty confidently, and getting the win overall is going to help big time. It's going to put them back in a great position to find themselves out of the group stage. So that's what they're hungry for. That's what Sentinels is trying to shut down and continue to put themselves back on top here. Let's see if they can do it.
Nice little double bounces inside the showers, but it's a little bit too deep. But the pain shells pushes them back. And that's a nice little satchel charge being thrown back on the attack just to make sure that they're not getting pinched in or run down. Sentinels and now Rise trade off utility, and we now have a stalemate towards showers, and we have to cut noise and try to re-aggress now towards Rise, slowly but surely. But these first Sentinels, you see how they're stacking up 3 players always together now towards this A side as they had that early pressure. Nice dink. Oh my god, what a beautiful satchel charge to a kill of the Superman. But at least Neptune's running out from the shower side. Shanks also pushing in with the Spectre, and these kills are now finally working out in the favor of Rise, having the superior weapons with the last 2 players now of Sentinels rotating back towards the spawn side. They do have a Marshal to work with here. Tense is all the way towards the top of the heaven side. Look, they connect with a few shots.
They drop in. The commit has happened. 2-2. Pincer, the Sentinels members now. Oh, Tens. You would do that. They started off clean. Can they continue? No scope.
And he still no scopes a recon dart, so it's a 2-on-2, but Neptune's finally coming from behind. The right click works for Dapper, but finally we end the bleeding with Derek on the last kill. But man, at some point, we talk about window of opportunities, Riv. I almost saw that happening when Tens is alive with that Marshal.
It took every member Rise had. Even they were surprised. You cannot mess with Tens. And you're right. Like I said, the faster Tens can work, it seems like the more on he is. Right? That recon dart was a perfect segue into possibly somebody else peeking. If they did, you are probably 101% dead at that point, because that man does not miss once he's on fire. And it came down to multiple peaks happening so they could take him down. 7-7. We are all tied up. Looks like they push. Oh, a big ping, but the trade is there. Smokes come up so they can get the return. And now it's going to be the play. Dash in from Shanks onto B.
3 players now that were all towards the A side, forced to rotate back for Sentinels. Zoms, Tens, and Shazam already right there as the spike gets planted. But the All drone just spotted one through the poison cloud, as that was Tens. We're playing the pulse plan. At least right now that Owl drone only spotted 1 player. We're going back out on the defender side. Shazam's trying to clear out the side as well. He doesn't see anything. We're trying to play setups right now as we have the snake bite on the ground, so we're delaying it a little bit more. We also have a gravity well, but that's going to be it. You already see the rest of Sentinels falling back here towards the spawn side, as Rise have the numbers advantage and utility advantage, and they'll also take the advantage of this series with an 8-7 scoreline.
And this was kind of an instant money consideration that they went with. You know, they look at the round, it's 4v3. Taking damage here would be detrimental. They have no credits, so they back off. You even saw Tens going towards elbow, and then they started to retreat from the situation, making that mid-strat call to be like, nope, we're saving. Let's see what we can do next round. Tens is 2 away. Sick is 2 away. They can make it work if they focus some orbs. Let's see where they are going to be. If maybe Sick goes long. No. Yeah, Sick and Tens are actually both going to be B, so they put the duelist on one site here with a bit of cover. They don't even know. We don't. I'm not going to try to figure it out anymore. Let's look at what Rise is doing.
Yeah,
they want
exactly
A.
It. They're looking for the shower
and they
control
are piled
themselves.
in there.
Orb available for them to fight for, as we do have the Blade Storm that just got heard here on the attacker side, and following behind the boom bot. They want to take showers control because they want to split into the A site with the Showstopper. A recon dart that comes out, shock dart onto the ground, the Showstopper to create that space. Neptune has made it inside, and he's looking to move inside the U-Haul. The Showstopper on the ground, and somehow Sick makes it in the front and lands both the kills. I wonder the Showstopper was blocked by his teammate, but that gives the advantage now for Sentinels to take all of the kills on this defender half, leaving now Derek on his own. The fuse is going to come out. Shock darts on the ground. Will it connect for a kill? Forcing one off, but that's going to be it. You already see this round's coming in for Sentinels. And oh my god, was that a bloodbath towards the U-Haul in favor of the Sentinels right there.
Believe it or not, I don't think Sick meant to do this, but believe it or not, the best way to dodge a Raze ult that is probably going to hit you is to run directly at her. Because a Raze will hardly ever shoot you, and if you jump, you'll dodge over the floor of the ground. Yeah, that's exactly what happened with Sick. And you take a Raze completely off guard. Neptune gets swept. Sick gets his ultimate, uses it to clear space. Man, just very fast consideration of what Sentinels was getting that round. Nicely done. We're back to guns here, Vans. Dapper's got his judge out, and it looks like he's going to slam down a verdict here if he can inside the ultimate.
And it's deep. It's a deep poison pit right now inside the short A side, even covering a little bit more of the palm tree. So Rise are going to need a lot to try to re-clear that. As you see, a very slow play, a default for Rise, looking for any pushes towards any extremities, but you see it right now, at least for Sentinels. They're setting up this crossfire. You talked about the double duelist. Maybe it wasn't around before, but it's this round right here, playing both of them together to take control of the long B side. Boombot going back and forth. One's going to get broken down. Here comes the Boombot moving out. Shock darts from Derek. A little bit of damage onto Sick.
I feel like it's an A play, and it might have just been a TP to A after B distraction, but they can't get a hold of B long.
Yeah.
The way that you see the Shanks holding that A teleporter, and we had Superman watching if anybody pushed out towards long. Yeah, A is going to be the play in the end. They just hope to have made enough noise to make this Viper ult almost non-existent. That's big call. Derek's going to see that, hear that, as Dapper's like, I have an owl drone here. It could be back A. We see the rotation now from Shazam. Calls going in, and they've reached the site.
We're going to have to time this back here inside the Viper's pit, but the rest of the team are doing their job, holding the rest of the site. And that's it. 2 easy kills there from Dapper, and I love it. The dancing from Dapper, getting away from the owl drone and trusting his teammates. I think there was nothing but trust for Sentinels right there, because you talked about it into this Prime Gaming Flawless here, Riv, where the battle that you had towards Long B, you still had an inkling that the hit's going to happen towards the A side, but no.
Can push onto the site and say, this is ours, right? He's 2 away. We'll see if he can get another one up for himself. A few in the game will still come by for him, and we'll see if they can get those ultimates in for a round win. 8 to 9, as it's now been going a little back and forth. The timeouts seem to be the thing that really gives the edge here, Vans. We'll see.
We'll see if that's the case, because the last time we had a timeout from Rise, though, yes, it looked pretty good for Haven, but on the other ones, you still saw it turn back for Sentinels.
It's true. Looks like they're working towards long. Maybe okay, so they're not going to do a variation of the strat we just saw. They are actually going towards A, but they have the Astra on, or sorry, they're going B, have the Astra on A.
Good delay.
Oh my word. You
Snake bite
kill
on the
City.
ground. Paint shells coming out. Retaliation from Rise as well on the attack with the shock darts, and we've now given up Long B on both teams, actually, as everybody's falling back.
Yeah.
So now still 2 players, though, stuck inside this B site. Shazam has rotated over towards B to support. And Rise, they're just going for a cut noise and resplit into B. But they do have a lower buy. They don't have any showstopper to try to really go aggressively inside the site. We'll just try to see if they're going to go with the Cosmic Divide, and Poise is already in Astral form, ready to get that going.
Good call. Looks like it's going to block off towards elbow, so you can swing. Oh, deep in elbow, so you actually have to commit all the way out. You'll be in the smoke, and they are hitting. Shazam's going to try to answer back here. And they've stalled for now. Nope, never mind.
The dash across, one inside the cubby, that's sick. And Zom also gets the lurk kill towards the A site. So as a Cosmic Divide, a fake TP or a late TP into the A site gets fully denied. But at least for a bit, there's only 13 seconds left. And Zoms, who did get the first blood inside U-Haul, cannot deny this plant. But the rotation already comes out from Shazam. He gets that headshot onto Neptune, and we're staying alive. We get the flank as well, and there's only one more for Superman. And Zoms all over it. Superman does get the kill with the Spectre. We're going for the full stick. He's going to have to go for a wall bang, but it's not going to happen. Yeah. Sick gets the easy kill, and that Sentinels now taking the lead by 2 and slowly closing this series.
Powerful retakes seem to be on the menu for Sentinels again here. It's something that made them one of the better teams in the first place. And then their attacks, they would have Sick and Tens doing some wild things. But you remember, excuse me, what Zoms would do, right, in a site. Zom's always good for 2. Easy to think about if he's guarding C on Haven when he used to do it on Cypher and stuff like that. Dapper, and then Zomzon was on Omen. But otherwise, they still do those same things. So you can always expect that frag to come from Zoms. Tens are Sick to be going in. Sick as well this game with Tens is just playing outrageous. So if they can start coming online like they are now, it really brings everything else together for Sentinels, and you get those retakes. You get that team you used to know.
And that's 10's first blood in this round. Rise are trying to go for a change of pace as they're moving quickly inside the B side, and it works for a bit. That's already 3 players down. Dapper's still alive, though, towards the elbow side, but blocked off by Nebula as it dissipates. He's creeping forward. Shazam's in the back of the side, but now, as the Boombot spots him, we're spraying for a little bit. Shazam gets 2 kills through smoke! And now he's going for the shock dart. He also has a recon dart. He has Hunter's Fury, and Dapper's going to work on the other end. That's only Derek on his own, but he himself also has a Hunter's Fury. Now battle against Shazam. Dapper in the front. Viper's Pit, or Toxic Screen Elise, is up. And here comes that Hunter's Fury, and Dapper's pushing forward right through it. And there you go, it comes down. Dapper gets the kill. What a beautiful play there from Dapper and from Shazam. That looked like a situation where Sentinels wasn't going to get it. And Shazam pulls out the big play that we saw off screen for those 2 kills in the back of the site.
That was big. Both of them coming in as well with Phantoms made them like ghosts. Shazam got those trades from spawn and nobody could find him. You heard a bunch of bullets whiz by him, but his Phantom kept him safe. Same thing coming in with Dapper. They come in, they crush the site, nicely done. Really well read. Like you said, it almost looked impossible there, but they continue to thwart Rise. Rise is doing such a good job, though, at getting into these sites. It's figuring out that it's figuring out how to garrison that post-plant position to get the frags back and not be taken out. That one you can't. You'd be like, oh, you got spammed through smoke. What are you doing? That obviously is kind of an anomaly, but a lot of the times they seem to be scattering still, and almost what they employ in their wins on defense when they attack a team right on the plane.
And that's the thing, Riv, because most of the times when you're watching Sentinels, it's always like 10's playing aggressive, getting first blood, and it's like, oh, they look pretty good actually just holding their grounds, and you don't really see the opportunity of them playing the pulse plants. And now that you're actually seeing it and how the retakes are actually pretty clean, it's very similar to how they're really clean on Haven. And now, speaking about the first blood, the aggressive, the pushes, Tens gets the first blood there, and then Sick also gets one on the other side of the site. And now this push from Rise does not work out into B site whatsoever, as now the trades are perfect for Sentinels in the end, and they get map point and series point. As you could take a little bit of a breather as a Sentinels fan, but we've seen this situation just before on Fracture.
Do you? Take a bit of a breather if you're a Sentinels fan. Crank up the copium and hopium if you are a Rise fan. Deep breath there.
Let's talk about the
make
copium.
it. They honestly, they throw teams for a loop here. A lot of their strats are, they run a variation of something they've done before. And here we see the A strat where they push through and waited on the orb and then hit the site for coming out. They're going to be met with a little defense this time, so we'll see how they react. But keeping those Spectres together is a death ball, and that's what they want.
Shazam already, they're trying to get a showstopper in, and Shazam stops them with the Hunter's Fury, and these are looking good now for Sentinels. We're battling as much as we can inside showers, and it's Derek with 2 kills in the back of the site, though. Shock darts once again. Shazam comes up huge. It's a 3 versus 1, and Superman's on his own. Struggling a little bit in this map as a Viper, now pinged by an Aldrone. Showstopper out here from Sick, and they're hunting him down. The bunny hop through the U-Haul, and Shazam closes it down, and Sentinels, they take the lead in this series and win it.